Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, JW here, and welcome to another episode of the East Lake Animal Education Centre. May well be the last episode of the East Lake Animal Education Centre. The next episode will start a new series in the same map. If you saw the last episode, you will know that Dunswell Zoo will be taking over the East Lake Animal Education Centre, as well as building a brand new zoo. We are just in explore mode at the moment, and you'll notice a few changes about the car park here, and also as we go around the education centre. There'll be some updates posted to Instagram, so make sure you follow me on there, which is at JW_YT. So we cross the crossing here, and you'll see the car park hasn't changed much. I didn't want to spend too much time on the car park at the moment, but we now have 2 coach bays. Fortunately, I can't do anything about this, but they allow... Let's just hop out of this for a minute. They allow the guests to come to the new-ish entrance. So the entrance was a bit further along. It was probably about here. Just shifted it down here a little bit. The car park will be getting a complete overhaul to match the car park for the main entrance of Dunswell Zoo, which you can sort of see over here. Other than that, nothing much has changed in this area. So our entrance then, same as last time, it's exactly the same building, just brought it forward and rotated it. Let's head back into explore mode. So of course we go through the entrance, and on our left we have, we have some guest services. So we have toilet facilities, information, and then a couple of franchise establishments. We've got a Chief Beef and a Gulpy Juice, is that, or a Gulpy Soda? Gulpy Soda. Let's just get rid of that. And basically they pay us a fee to... Oh, I'm inside someone's head. They pay us a fee to have their sites here. You can see the lake is now all fenced off. Some benches and bins and lots of people in there. You'll find out why shortly. The plaza looks different. In all honesty, the free build mod hasn't been updated yet for 1.9, so I've been working without the free build mod, which is a little bit unfortunate for me because I love the free build mod because I hate stuff like this. And I suppose I could make that into a planted area, but like these bits here, nah. So this is all still the same. We've lost a couple of doll sheep, but they are breeding. We've got quite a few juveniles in here, actually, if I find them. Yeah. So there's 2 males and a female. So that's Jazzy, our female, Bearhan, our male, Danielle, our female. So we've got 2 males and 2 females, then I do apologise. Our main male, he died, so we'll keep one of the males and keep the herd going that way. Nothing's changed over here other than the staff facilities what are along this side have now been moved along here. The Lemur Conservation Centre will eventually be moving over to Dunswell Zoo into its Africa area. But for now, there are ring-tailed lemurs in here, and you know they've got plenty of life left in them, so it may well be that they end up moving across. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't remember. But it might be that they're moving across as they are, rather than having to get any more in. But we will be getting some other species of lemur. We'll be getting the red-ruffed lemur and the black and white ruffed lemur as well. and maybe the other lemur mods if Leaf gets around to updating them, which hopefully he will, because I need them for my other series. So we've got a little bit of change straight ahead. We've lost, I think, 1 reindeer, maybe 2, but not much. We've lost a male, I can tell you that much. The camels haven't gone, they've just moved. But yeah, the reindeers are somewhere. There they are. They're all over the back here. So we've lost our male. So it's now an entirely female herd. Mainly elderly, which is unfortunate. So we'll have to get a male in here at some point. The boa goats, unfortunately, they all died of old age, because we're now on year 55. They all died of old age, unfortunately. So I tore down their habitat. We will be getting the boa goats back. I do like the boa goats. Penguins, we've lost a couple of them due to old age, but because we established the breeding patterns within the colony fairly quickly, we've still got juveniles and adults. There's a steady number. I mean, if I just click on the habitat, it should say there's 19 penguins. So we're doing all right there. Llamas, we've still got all of our llamas. They will be moving across to the South America part of Dunswell Zoo. I don't know whether they're going to be permanent additions, because we're also having the guanaco. I don't want to have guanaco, llama and alpaca. So they might not be a permanent addition, but they will be moving over to Dunswell Zoo. Come back down here. And we will go into our explore mode. So I've turned the lake into the East Lake Wetlands Recovery Centre. So obviously the last DLC was the Wetlands DLC and Caution Free Roaming Wildlife. This is an invisible guest gate. There's a mod what removes the guest gate. And then in here there should be some ducks to start off with. I wanted geese and swans as well, but the Canadian geese mod wasn't playing ball. It's not updated yet. It was just causing crashes and things. So we've just got ducks in here for now, which is there. There's one duck. And there's some swans over here. The reason why I haven't moved the swans over yet will become apparent later on. We're not going to walk around the lake on that side. Nothing's really changed on that side. I am on a plant. So it's a nice little path here, some colourful benches and bins. This is, of course, the back of the lynx habitat. Come down here. And we get to this big cage, as I'm going to call it. And this is the Wetlands Recovery Centre. So in here there's mute swans and mallard ducks, but the information, the education board's not working for them. So you can see we've got some magical floating ducks over there. Those are the females. They're waiting to have ducklings, so we've separated them for the time being. Some more magical floating ducks, and the swans will probably be inside. We have a pair of swans. They have mated already, and they have one cygnet. So when that cygnet's of an appropriate age, we're going to move the swans out onto this lake. And the point of this lake is this is the East Lake, for which the East Lake Animal Education Centre gets its name. But it was just a waste of area. Like, it's such a large body of water that nothing's using. So we, of course, halved the lake and kept this bit with the island and such. Basically, any waterfowl that are brought to rescue centres and they don't have the facilities to look after them, they can be placed here, and they can either live their lives out on this lake, or they'll recover in the recovery centre, and then they'll be returned to the wild. I don't know if this is going to be a permanent feature. I do love the lake. I envision this becoming a proper zoo, and the lake takes up an awful lot of space that I think could be better used for habitats and such. But we'll see what happens anyway. I've not decided yet. I'm also really not happy with sort of this bit of the habitat. So the walkthrough bit actually ends here, because you can't have staff facilities inside habitats. So the sort of duck habitat ends here, and there you go, it ends there. There's a walkthrough gate there, but it's not a habitat, and then that's a habitat. So I don't know. Okay, we've got some ducks out on here, only males at the moment. And then obviously the wetland centre. I just wanted it to be something simple. I didn't want anything elaborate, it just needs to do the job. It's just a wetlands recovery centre rehabilitating waterfowl to be released into the wild. That's the whole point of it. Obviously we've got our staff facilities here. They look alright. They're not the best, but they're not the worst either. And I just had to put that in there because we needed it. And we've got the new part of the East Lake Animal Education Centre straight ahead. And you can see that it's something very popular and possibly Asian themed. But this is the back end. Caution: free roaming wildlife, East Lake Wetlands Recovery Centre. So we're going to head back rather than just launching straight into the new part, because I need to update you on the old part. It's very scenic in here actually. I quite like it, but it's not very zoo-like. It is still an education sort of centre, what you'd find in like a small city or on the outskirts of a village, something like that, which obviously is what's happening with Dunswell. But for a zoo, I don't know if this is a good use of space or not, but we'll wait and see. That's a long way off yet before we get to developing this part of the map for the zoo. What we got next then? Alpacas. We've lost an alpaca. One of them died due to old age. So we've now got 3 alpacas. Just going to nip out of explore mode. It's just a bit quicker. We've got female, nearing death. Male, sort of nearly nearing death. And another female that's only just become elderly. So we'll see. We might just keep the alpacas here and then close down this habitat rather than moving them and the llamas across in with the guanaco when they go in. Meerkats. We had a small crisis with the meerkats. We've lost a lot of them. And if I can find one... See, this is one of the babies from last time. We've got 3 that are too young to breed. 2 that are too old to breed. This one's on contraception because it's a sister. So this meerkat colony is very likely to collapse at some point. They won't be breeding, so... This is Musa. And then Bogosi. So Delma could breed with those two, but then it's an age thing, and you know. Anyway, it's very likely that the meerkats will collapse as a breeding colony. In the event of that, we'll probably just tear this habitat down and reclaim the land for Dunswell Zoo use, and then build a new, better meerkat habitat in Dunswell Zoo. Our Aldabra tortoises. Oh, first of all, we've got our Goliath bird eaters. They're all sort of not even halfway near dying yet. Got a male and 2 females in here. So there's one. That's Alejo. I'm not going to spend too much time here, but the male and 2 females, apparently. It's always worrying when you can't see them. They escaped. We've got our giant desert hairy scorpions, and I took contraceptives off them. They're now breeding. Their offspring's imminent for them. The frogs, a couple of them died off, so I allowed the remaining ones to breed. We're now down to 3, and we've got an elderly male. I think if the male dies before he gets to breed with the females, we'll probably just keep the females and then shut down this exhibit. But we will be getting them back in the future because they are endangered, and they'll be going in the South America zone, which is fine, because that's going to be one of the first things I'm going to be working on, I think. Diamondback terrapins, we're down to 1 male, 1 female now. We did have 2 males, 2 females, but one of each died. I've took contraceptives off them should they wish to breed, just to keep our numbers up, but there doesn't seem to be much happening in terms of action. She's a gold though, and she's only 0.3. She was born here actually. I haven't been keeping very good track of animal births. I mean, I've been busy building elsewhere. Also a captive birth and 0.3. Okay, so they might breed when they get a bit older then. And our Aldabra tortoises, they're not breeding yet, but I might take the contraceptives off soon, just because this area is pretty popular with the animal talks, and I sort of want an established group of Aldabra tortoises when we move them over into our Africa zone. But that's what the tropical house looks like. And we'll just whiz through here. Gets very busy in this area. I think if and when the meerkats do sort of collapse as a breeding colony, might move these here if we're not reclaiming this land. But we'll see. These are all up in the air kind of plans at the moment. Our 2 lynx sisters are doing very well. They've got a nice steady popularity. Let's see if we can spot them. Probably asleep, they usually are. Oh, no, there's one. So she's hungry, but there are 2 small food dishes and then a big one wherever I've put it, and I can't remember. Here. So it's just a case of getting a keeper, but there is a keeper already assigned. Where's your sister? I should say sister, but you know, whatever. But yeah, I'm relatively happy with this habitat, to be fair. It does what it needs to do. Wallabies then. Quite a lot of change with the wallabies. They were becoming quite stressed I don't know if I did this in the last episode or not. So I've just sort of fenced this entire area off, so it's not visible, just to give them a bit more privacy. And if we actually go and walk through the wallaby walkthrough, so we push the gates open. The babies are pretty much all grown up now for the Bennett's wallabies. We haven't got swamp wallabies in yet, but we will be doing, because the Australia zone is one of the first areas I'm going to be working on alongside the South America zone. We've got our 3 emu girls still. Can we spot all 3 of them? I can spot 2. There's 1. And there's 2. But we lost our breeding male for the Bennett's wallabies, so they are least concern, so I'm not going to bother too much about breeding them particularly. Peafowl are doing fine, no change there. Of course, we've got our seal habitat, our rescued seals. And it looks like there's talk going on over there. These facilities are very popular, as always. And there's also a new path here to link to the new area of the zoo. The Animal Education Centre, sorry. You can see it's really busy here. But we'll get to that in just a second. So we whiz past the seals here, and you'll get to the next big change, which is, this is also part of the new expansion. You can see we've got red crown cranes just over there, and of course you've got the seals here, the cafe, and you will notice that that's it. So the donkeys, the 2 different species of sheep, the alpine goats, and the domestic pigs, and the turkeys, they all died of old age eventually while I was building the entrance. So I took the barn down and we're reusing the materials elsewhere. And the chickens, I've moved them over to a new area. But when they go, there won't be any more sort of farm animals. So obviously this is where the farm was. And now we're in the new area, which we will go all the way down here. And I will show you that. So look at our fallow deer. It's the exact same habitat as before. If I just zoom out a little bit, you can see this is where the guests would be. So it kind of went that way. All we've done is done it this way and changed the viewing. We have got a breeding male. The other one died of old age, but there is a breeding male in here, so this herd's pretty stable. But I'm not too bothered about breeding them because they are least concern. So we'll bypass some surprises and we will head to the new entrance, or the secondary entrance, and we'll show you that. So there's now another entrance to the East Lake Animal Education Centre, and it's pretty busy. You've got some ATMs and toilets on your left, you've got some food and drink shops on your right, got some education, conservation boards. Here are our chickens, just a nice simple little habitat next to Bernie's Bakes, another one of our franchise establishments. We've got some people using this seating area just near it. It's really nice. I just thought I'd move the chickens here because they're not particularly big ticket animals, even though if we click on here, they're getting $438 donations. That one's probably like nearly 2,000. So they're not big ticket animals, but there's enough people passing here that they'll be seen, and that was my theory behind that. But once these chickens go, they're gone. I'm not bringing more chickens in to replace them. If we backtrack just a little bit though, you'll see one of our new rescues. So we go down this lovely little stone path here, past these facilities, you'll come to a new habitat, sort of nestled in front of the fallow deer. Pretty busy around here, and it houses badgers. We have 6 female badgers, if I remember correctly, or 4. It's one of the two. It's either 6 or 4. Just click on you. The 6. Even that says absolute population 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cynthia makes 5. Is there only 5? I thought there was 6. Huh, would you look at that? There's only 5. Well, we've got 5 badgers, female badgers, all rescued. And they're in this sort of natural habitat. Didn't really need to do much to this, to be honest. I just changed the terrain a little bit. You see they've got food and drink. Got some toys and lots of area to sort of hide about in. But most of them prefer the burrows. So if I just click on this burrow, there's none in there. Bet they're all in that one. So 3 of the 5 are in that one. There's 1 there. That's 4 of the 5. So there's another one somewhere. Is this her? Yeah, like you wouldn't even tell there was in here, which I really like. It's a really sort of natural habitat. Let's get out of explore mode. I like that it's guest perspective, but it's far too slow. So then on to our new habitats on the left here. On the right's the fallow deer. So very popular on the left are the coatis and an anteater. Coatis least concerned, anteater is vulnerable. So we just nip in here. They are breeding, the coatis. It's actually a point of contention that coatis are being phased out of European zoo collections because they're classed as an invasive species. But I really like coatis and I want them in the zoo. So here they are in the education centre. They'll be moved over into the zoo. But they are breeding. If I Esperanza. So she's due offspring next year. So they are breeding. And then it just looked a little bit bland having coatis in here. And I thought, what else is sort of low-key village city kind of zoo? I thought, alright, what if we do surplus anteaters? So an anteater that can't stay where it is at the moment. Let's say it's the child of a breeding pair. It can't stay where it is at the moment, but there's nowhere for it to go yet. It would probably go to somewhere like this until it was moved on to a proper facility. I'm hoping we get to keep her though, because she's part of the breeding program, and you know, she might be small, but she's got decent genetics. So hopefully we get to keep her. Obviously South America, so fingers crossed. But yeah, they really like this habitat, the guests and the animals. 1,500, 1,800, 720, 200. So yeah, they really like it. Obviously fallow deer here. Then next to them, also South America, We have the greater rhea, or rhea, depending on how you want to pronounce it. We have 2 females and a male. So we have Evita, Amadeo, and Adela. Adela is, of course, was a pet, so we rescued her. Also a rescue, and also a pet. There's really basic stuff for these. They don't need an awful lot at all. They actually have some greater rhea or rhea at 2 of my sort of city zoos where I live. I call them zoos. They're not zoos, but you know, they have them. So they're really easy to care for in that respect. Up next, we have our camel trio, our 3 sisters, in a much larger habitat than what they're used to. And the point of that is that we could maybe bring some more in if we wanted to have more of a herd. But at the moment, these 3 are fine. They're not stressed. They like their habitat. It's a bit bland. I might put some shade structures in or something like that, but they enjoy it nonetheless, and the guests are responding relatively well to it as well. So we will stop here to one of the larger habitats, as you'll see, and this houses 4 pairs of red-crowned cranes. So we have a custom seizure, a custom seizure, a rescue, a pet, a pet. Any more for any more? Well, I can't see any more, so I think that might be it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 3 pairs, 3 breeding pairs. Yeah. So I have 3 breeding pairs of red-crowned cranes, of course from the Wetlands Animal Pack. And they're doing really well in here. Nothing in here yet, but there will be further down the line. And you can get lots of views of the red-crowned crane. So you can obviously view from here or here. Everyone seems to prefer these 2 viewing spots where you can sort of see them wading about, swimming, just enjoying life really. Red-crowned cranes, they are vulnerable? Yeah, they are vulnerable. So we will be breeding them. And obviously they can go with the Sichuan Takin, which is mod, or the Japanese macaque. I've just got them on their own. I think they're perfectly fine on their own. But they have a nice big habitats, of course. Territory disputes and breeding and such. So I gave them a pretty big habitat. They will probably be moving into the Asia section of Dunswell Zoo when that gets built, but it won't be for a while. So quite happy here. And then the final of the new expansions is the Asian short-clawed otter, or the Asian small-clawed otter, or the Asian otter, whatever you call it. We've got 8 of them, non-breeding, and they've got a pretty big habitat as well for such small animals. The point of that is because I would like to bring some other animals into here as well. So if we just pop down and go onto the Zoopedia. So I'd like to bring the Binturong in. It isn't very sort of low budget animal park kind of material, but I think towards the end of the Eastlake Animal Education Centre's lifespan, we can bring the binturongs in. Excuse me. And maybe the Malayan tapirs. I do apologise for the yawn. I'm on medication and it's sort of taking it out of me a little bit. But yeah, bringing the Malayan tapirs in as well before they move over into the Asian area of the zoo. That's why it's such a big habitat just for otters. Lots of viewing opportunities for the animals here, so you can see sort of inside the house a little bit, and then out here you can see the mud bath and playing with the bubble machine, and you also get a really nice view of the entire sort of length of the habitat. Another viewing point, seeing with the enrichment there. Then you come around the corner and there's another viewing point, very popular this one, and I don't know why. And then we come to what is probably one of my favourite things I have built, so I am going to go into explore mode. So you walk along here and you got rocks and stuff, and then kaboom! A lovely underwater viewing experience. See the otters. See some of their enrichment items. And you can see the waterfall as well. We will press play in just a moment. And then of course, that's the back of the wetlands centre. You would come up the stairs and you've got a nice big viewing deck. So you can look at them in the water, if you can see them, which you probably can't. Can make one out there. Or you can come to this side and you can see them playing with the ball, or there's one there, there's one playing with the bubble machine. And of course these viewing opportunities will be even more increased with the addition of the binturong and potentially the Malayan tapir. Definitely want to put binturong in here, but potentially the Malayan tapir as well. Need to put a bit of planting down there. But that brings us up to speed-ish, ladies and gentlemen. Now if you remember, we had 1.8 million to build the entrance to Dunswell Zoo and the starting facilities. Well, we're on 503,848. I'll be honest, I've spent probably more money on the Eastlake Animal Education Centre's latest additions, but that's in the hopes that it brings us more money. In the hopes. It might not work out, but hopefully it will. I'm not going to show you what I've done with the rest of the money, but it's over there. That is the entrance to Dunswell Zoo. I'm going to show you that next time. But the plan for that is to show you the entrance plaza and then explain what the next steps are going to be. This was just to show you what I've been up to since the release of the Wetlands Pack and what my plans are for the future, which is firmly the development of Dunswell Zoo, and slowly but surely the Eastlake Animal Education Centre, which now takes up a sort of sizable portion of the map. That will be slowly absorbed into the zoo. The animals will of course find alternative homes within the zoo. Most of them will be moved to other areas within the zoo. But I think I've spoken for long enough. My throat's getting a bit sore now. So yeah, I think we'll hit play and I'll leave it on those wonderful, wonderful otters having a little splash about. If people wouldn't get in my way. So, thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Follow me on Instagram for regular updates on Dunswell Zoo. That's at JW_YT. I sort of post. I try to post every week. I haven't been doing lately, but I do try to post every week on there, and the videos are just sort of as and when I've finished a project or I feel like publishing a video. Don't know when the next one's going to be. I really do need the free build mod to be updated before I progress any further, ideally. So the next episode may well be just a tour of what I have done with the Dunswell Zoo entrance plaza and the car park and all the cool stuff over there. Can we walk in the water? Yeah, we can. Okay, let's leave it like this. It's even better. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Stay safe, and I shall see you all next time. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye for now.